Welcome back, students. This is the second lecture of week 7 in basic course in Maithili. In this week, we'll be looking at present simple tense and how it works in Maithili. Present simple tense is used to express habits, as in I exercise daily, daily routines, as in I eat a banana every day, general truths like the sun rises in the east, present situations, feelings and preferences. Okay, so let's look at how the simple present works in Maithili via conversation. Okay, Darjeeling में गर्मी केहन होइत अछि? How hot is it in Darjeeling? Darjeeling में गर्मी कम होइत अछि. It is less hot in Darjeeling. So it shows a general condition or fact of the present. It tells how the weather in Darjeeling usually is. Darjeeling मौसम हमरा नीक लगैत अछि. I like the weather of Darjeeling. हाँ, एहिठामक मौसम बड़ ठंडा होइत अछि. Yes, the weather here is very cold. These sentences express a personal feeling and a general characteristic of the place, showing both preference and a typical feature. अहाँ चाय बागान देखैत छी? Do you see tea gardens? हाँ, हम प्रतिदिन देखैत छी. Yes, I see them every day. These sentences describe regular or repeated actions, indicating habits that happen in everyday life. हम भोरे बाजार जाइत छी. I go to the market in the morning. हमहूँ ओतय जाइत छी. हमहूँ ओतय जाइत छी. I also go there. These sentences describe daily routines and shared habits, showing actions that are done regularly. ई जगह बड़ सुंदर अछि. ई जगह बड़ सुंदर अछि. This place is very beautiful. हाँ, एहि जगह के सब पर्यटक पसंद करैत छै. Yeah, all tourists like this place. These sentences again describe a present condition and a general truth, explaining how something is and how people usually respond to it. So now let's look at the structure. Okay, so simple present affirmative structure. Okay, so these will be positive sentences. So the structure will be something like subject plus verb, the base verb form, and we usually suffix it with ait or it plus the auxiliary which carries the honorificity and other features. So let's look at few examples. हम बाजार जाइत छी. I go to the market. So this is again a factual statement. Somebody goes to market, maybe daily. ओ किताब पढ़ैत छै. He, she reads a book. O is a demonstrative here and किताब पढ़ैत छै. So this is simple present. How do these simple present sentences behave in a negative construction? We just add नए before the verb and we have a negative construction. Examples: हम बाजार नहीं जाइत छी. I do not go to the market. Maybe somebody else does. ओ किताब नहीं पढ़ैत छै. Maybe he or she likes to play. So ओ किताब नहीं पढ़ैत छै. He or she does not read a book. Let's look at the interrogatives now. So how do we ask questions? Okay, in Maithili, the structure of interrogative usually remain the same as in affirmative. The question can be formed by intonation or rising tone. So we use tone to specify whether it's a question. So let's look at few examples. Or we can also add ki, which translates to Hindi kya or what, or something similar to what, a WH word in English. So let's look at few examples. If you have to state a simple sentence, affirmative, we'll say aha bajar jaichi, you go to the market. But when we are asking a question, we'll have to add a rising tone to the verb. So if we have to ask, we'll say aha bajar jaichi, do you go to the market? Or ki o kitab padhe chhe, does he or she read a book? So we suggest the question through rising tone in Maithili. Okay, now let's look at how we construct negative interrogative forms. So we simply add nay, as we have seen before the verb. Okay, so the construction will be subject, nay, verb plus auxiliary question mark. Again, there will be intonation here. So let's look at few examples. Aha bajar nahi jaichi. Notice the intonation. Nahi jaichi. Do you not go to the market? Or ki o kitab nahi padhe chhe. Ki o kitab nahi padhe chhe. Does he or she not read the book? So nahi again precedes the verb and there is a intonation to suggest the question. So what are the verb formation patterns? So first of all, let's look at this case where a sound a is deleted. So when a is added to a verb stem ending in a vowel except e, the a of 8 is deleted. So how will it work? So let's look at few examples. So when we have to say kha, kha is the stem ending of the verb kha, which means eat. When we add 8 to add the simple present marker, it becomes khai. A of 8 is actually deleted. So it will become khai. Ho, which is happen or be. Again, if we add the 8th marker, we'll have hoit. Okay. Ta is minimally pronounced. Again, we have to notice that hoit. Then there's second pattern for the verbs which are ending in e sound. Okay. When the verb stem ends in e sound, the addition of I creates a vowel sequence of e, a. To avoid this, a glide is basically y sound, is inserted between the two vowels. So again, it's better to understand this through an example. So something like p, again notice that it ends with e. So when we say p and the present simple present form, when we attach 8 to it, we get p8th, p8th. Similarly, c is to sew, okay, and it becomes c8. Then the third pattern involves the deletion of final a sound from the stem. If the verb stem has an a sound, it gets deleted after the addition of 8. So when 8 is added to the verbs ending in a, the final a sound is deleted. Let's again look at few examples. So they is the base stem for verb give. Okay, when we attach 8 to it, so it becomes dait. So they becomes dait. Again, the is minimally pronounced everywhere. So lay will become like. In certain cases, there's an insertion of ba as well. Okay, so some verbs ending with a obligatorily take ba before 8th. So this is easier to understand with few examples. So when we have a verb like a, which is the stem for come in here in English, and we have to attach 8 to it, so we'll say, we cannot say ait, we'll have to say abait. So abait. When we have to say he is coming, we'll say o abait. Then la, which is bring, becomes labait. Okay, and pa, receive becomes पावैत. हम पैसा पावैत छी. I receive or I get money. Okay. But there are few exceptional forms again. So B is optionally added to some vowel final verb stems such as P and C. So in the last slide we saw that P becomes P8, C becomes C8, but it can also become P8 or C8. So both P8 and P8 or C8 and C8 are standard. So this will be it for this lecture. We'll meet you in the next class.